After the war, the race, the history books they tell of their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Hello there, hello there, hello there, everyone. I apologise for the lateness. I do not struggle with timekeeping. Timekeeping struggles with me. Okay? Yeah. And joining me, the replacement bus service for No Justice MTG. Except this time it's not a replacement for Question Time, it's a replacement for Laura Koonsberg.
We're getting stuck into Laura Koonsberg
yes.
And all of the associated large rabbit ears journalism that we're going to be enjoying this evening. Yeah, it's good stuff. Hello, everyone. Look, I'm back because last time the BBC clipped our wings by not uploading Question Time. So
bastards.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I thought I'd bring on a proper Scottish journalist to mock a pretend one.
Well, hell yeah, why not? It's funny. I always hesitate on calling myself a journalist because I'm not in the NUJ and I've not had any formal training. But stuff I do is occasionally journalism. So
well, you've written for some sort of big tones
for
and things.
Various bits of national press. Yeah, Jacobin and Independent. And
see, but this is the thing. Because of people like Laura Koonsberg, the term journalist isn't like it doesn't denote success or knowledge or anything like that. It's like a stain upon you. It's like walking around with your pants filled with shit. Like it's not a good thing. Yeah.
On your head. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas when I say you're a journalist, I mean you're actually a journalist in the way that word is supposed to mean. In the same way that the current national government calling themselves the adults in the room or grown-up sensible people, they've made those words into negatives, and they shouldn't be. Being
Yeah.
sensible is a positive thing, actually.
Yeah, I know, Christ. Yeah, Sven Abel, you're absolutely right. We probably, I'm sure Kev has as well. I have seen the horrible anti-trans mob harassing Hannah Spencer on Piccadilly Square.
Yeah.
Grim. Yeah, no irony lost on the fact that it's International Women's Day and they were harassing a woman MP. Which is why one of the reasons I'm wearing this.
Trans, trams, trains, tracks, trans.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Lovely, yeah.
Oh, it's bleached out into white, but that is actually in the trans pride flag colours, for those of you who probably know the jersey of which I speak. Available on the Greens for HS2 website.
Nice. Based and awesome.
Pluggity plug. There we go.
Indeed. Okie doke. Shall we just dig straight into it? Because it's going
Let's
to be painful, awful shite. But thank you for joining me nonetheless.
That's all right.
Let's
call it catharsis, even though I think we're going to end up getting very irate.
Yes. Irate about Iran, to pronounce it like an American and therefore wrong.
Iran. Yeah, crikey. Right, okay.
Tehran on fire. America and Israel hit Iran's oil.
By the way, can we just go back for a second?
Theme tune. Has it got like a honky tonk piano theme tune? Is that?
It has. It's got a very
Right.
boogie
I've
woogie
never
piano
watched it.
thing.
I deliberately avoid watching this. This is going to do me serious psychological damage, isn't it? Okay, go on, Kev. Sorry.
Yes, welcome to the show. Yeah, that's what we do. Yes, just a kind of a thing that struck me. You know, they've been bombing all of these oil sites throughout Iran and stuff because, of course, it's about freedom or something. Anyway, Zach Polanski being told, well, why are you talking about international stuff and not the environment? Motherfucker, these two things are intrinsically linked. Look at that smoke going into the sky. Do you think
just unfathomable? Like not just carbon emissions, but we're talking about an enormous humanitarian and ecological disaster before our eyes. People have rightly pointed out that the US-Israel coalition bombed the hospitals that specialize in burns treatment in Tehran before they bombed the oil depot. That's the level of war crime we're talking about. Also, that they've been bombing. It's funny. There's a really good graphic. We're going to get into. You have to tell me to not interrupt. One of the there's a really good graphic pointing at how much of Iran's water and indeed how much of the region's water relies on desalination plants.
Yeah.
And for Iran, it was like 2 or 3%, and then for pretty much all of the US's partners on the Arab Peninsula, it was like 60, 70, 80%.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting can of worms for the US-Israel coalition to open up right there.
Well, not just that, but I mean, as was pointed out, if you go around destabilising things are going to fall. We've already seen literally the government of Bahrain have skedaddled already. Motherfucker, it's not even been 10 days.
I know.
What the
this is not my joke. This is about 3,000 people who made it on Twitter already. But the US wanted regime change. They've got it, just not quite in the country they intended.
Well, exactly. Somewhere vaguely in the Middle East.
Somewhere where they have some extremely important naval hardware, in fact.
Yes. Yeah. Is it good to have, I don't know, a kind of religiously inspired takeover of a place where you've got nuclear-armed submarines? Would that be a good thing to have happen?
I'm gonna go with good thing. Yeah, definitely a good thing.
Awesome. Yeah,
no, it is extremely depressing that people. I mean, firstly, any consideration of the environment has to be on a planet-wide basis. You can't. It's not like our planet is tiny and its atmosphere is influenced by activities everywhere on the planet. There's not some like weird membrane that goes vertically upwards around the international border of the UK. That is not how it works. So if you care about the environment, you have to understand it and care about the related geopolitics globally. Not to mention that it's just a good thing for people to be interested in the plight and rights of others in other countries and a country that we are facilitating the bombing of. So once again, it's like the Gaza thing. It's like Palestine. When I've had conversations and then you see the discussion and he's like, oh, why is anyone going on about the war? Big rabbit ears, war in Gaza. That's not. What's that got to do with domestic politics? Fucking everything. We are a partner in that genocide.
Yeah.
So which is absolutely a core domestic issue that we should be beyond caring about. That it's absolutely right that leading politicians are commenting on it. Sorry, I'll stop. Let's watch Laura Koonsberg. Sorry, we've not even started yet. We got 3 bars into some honky tonk piano.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Tehran on fire. America and Israel hit Iran's oil. A tower in Kuwait in flames. This is what modern war looks like. And another casualty? The friendship between the Prime Minister and the President. Donald Trump delivers another verbal attack on Keir Starmer. Trump tells him, "We don't need you."
See, and this is so Keir Starmer.
I can't. Yeah, there we go. It's all about Starmer. Starmer's shit politics.
It's so Keir Starmer to try and please both sides and end up being hated by everybody. That's literally his entire calling card. Is literally that sentence. Yeah.
I'm desperate to like every time she speaks. It's like, well, actually, no, and oh no. Oh, okay, let's keep going. I'm getting angry already.
Still firing at Israel too. We'll speak to Israel's president.
Okay, you know what? Let's pause a sec. Let's pause.
Go on, lad.
So that tower block that was on fire earlier, by the way, is a tower block that was like the tax. It's like the flipping tax office in the city.
Right.
That the US had moved its operations out of their airbase and into that tower block.
Right.
That's why Iran obliterated that tower block. I believe is now collapsed. By the way, I have to be legally careful. What I want to say is,
well, yes, indeed.
Iran.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's good. Anyway, sorry. Go on. That's
well, at least
it's not just a random tower block. It's like the US have put their command base inside that tower block. That's why it's blown up.
Well, if it has blown up and collapsed, that's a WTYP pod straight away.
It is.
Just saying.
Yeah.
In terms of the legitimacy, like you'll notice how Israel, whenever it does anything, has a right to defend herself, whereas apparently Iran doesn't have a right to defend itself. Like they attacked air bases, because those air bases are being used to bomb them.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to say it that way around. You have to remember, we're not allowed to say it that way around. That's everyone got the memo in the Anglosphere that we're not allowed to say it that way around. We're only allowed to say that Israel is being attacked. We're not allowed to say it's an attacker.
Indeed.
Anyway.
Time to join forces together and make clear to the Iranians that it's over and out, that they can't be the rogue country that they are.
Fuck you, man.
How many UN resolutions do you have against you as a nation?
Yeah.
More than all the other nations combined ever, I believe.
We've just been shown that one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous country on the planet right now is Israel, closely partnered with the US. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like Israel is powerful enough through various forms of, well, whatever, compromise and bribery, powerful enough to pull the US into a war on a whim. I would say that makes Israel pip the US, ironically enough, despite the US's ostensible might. Israel is the one that's calling the shots here. Israel is an extremely, again, I have to be careful about where I position my views on what should be happening to Israel in the long term. But one state solution. But anyway, that's another story. It's terrific. It's just, and what's great about this guy's hubris is that they're about to potentially collapse the US. And I suspect that Israel is not going to look good at the end of Iran enduring months of bombardment without any particular visible victory or kind of obvious success in terms of toppling a regime. It's just going to be ugly. And the losers in this are going to be, well, everyone, the Iranian people first and foremost. But the US and Israel are going to irrevocably destroy themselves on the world stage, but also their military is going to get hammered. It's just going to be a mess. Yeah. Iran is an enormous country with sizable resources and geography absolutely in their favor. The moment this becomes a boots on the ground situation, the US is like, we're talking unfathomable scales of carnage.
Yeah, it's basically every type of horrible, hard, impossible to take geographic situation exists in Iran.
A country of 90 million people built like a castle.
Yeah,
like,
it's basically
on all sides by defensible positions. It's
massive mountains or deserts.
Jim speaks right. Iran's got the geography of fucking Mordor. Yeah, it's a lot more beautiful. I've flown over Iran actually several times. Not several times, twice. It's the only time I've ever done a long-haul flight. Went over Iran both times, and all that I could think of was, Christ alive, what a staggeringly beautiful-looking place. Because I was going over the mountains, and they were covered in snow. It was just unfathomably beautiful, and all I could think of was, I really want to get to a point where I don't die before I can actually visit this place. Yeah, so
or indeed,
we'll see.
it doesn't die before.
Well,
you get a chance
yeah.
as well, yeah. But yes, on the point of being dragged into the war, and I don't want to sound like too much of a conspiracy theorist, but I think it's worth mentioning. The British base at RAF Akrotiri, which, by the way, has been a legitimate a legitimate military target, given that it's been doing spying flights over Israel, or over Palestine, I should say, for the Israelis. So that's a thing. But also, it was attacked by a drone strike, right?
Yep.
And both Iran and Britain have said it wasn't Iran. Who was it?
Yeah.
Who was it then?
Yeah, it's
Who did that?
It's this current suggestion. This is it, and so many things where Israel turns me into a tinfoil hat lunatic because that's the shit that Israel does. So it's the suggestions are either Israeli false flag or it's Hezbollah, and it's difficult to it's one of those things that because Israel is so barbaric and does Epstein, like they do things like Epstein.
Yeah,
then it's difficult to believe that anything isn't past them. Like, anyway, sorry, let's crack on while this guy disappears and more honky tonk piano.
Iran's ambassador here in the UK warns the government not to get further involved.
We do expect for the other people, including British government, to be very delicate, to be very careful for their own activities.
It's worth saying. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt as much, but we're getting into it and we're seeing all the big clips, which is why I'm getting excited about things. Iran has shown, through history, Iran in the Middle East has shown extreme restraint because they know the fucking stakes, right? We saw with the last Israeli bombardment, the last attack, the missile attacks, that they absolutely held back on going crazy. They did like a tokenistic response and then held the line. Yeah. Throughout history.
Well, literally, when Hassan Soleimani, a man that was there in Iraq at the behest of the Iraqi government, was murdered by the Americans on foreign soil, an act of direct and open war, they didn't go to war. They went, okay, the stakes are too high here. We're not going to fucking do that. They were actually the responsible adults in the room, and America and Israel went, we couldn't coax them into a war.
Yep.
Done!
That's pretty much the long and short of it. So, yeah, anyway, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there for the fact that, again, you're seeing the ambassador there with extreme restraint as his country is attacked by bombers that have gone there via UK airfields.
Yeah, and by the way, not just in foreign countries, not just in Qatar and UAE and various other despotic hellscapes that we're friends with those, so they're okay. There's the airfield in Gloucestershire.
Yep.
That they are currently using to fly military personnel and equipment to the Middle East to bomb Iran with. So if Iran were to bomb Britain, we couldn't realistically hold our hands up and say, we've been attacked unprovokedly, because it's not true.
So we're looking at Yvette Cooper and Robert Jenrick here. Are we supposed to think there's any discernible? Is this a spot the difference gag? Like,
yeah, exactly. They're the same image.
Is this are they considering this to be left and right adequately represented by these chairs? Is that what's going on here?
I believe so. I believe this is called the Overton window incarnate.
Yeah. Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is with us live. Robert Jenrick is here for reform. And we'll hear too from the First Minister of Scotland, the SNP's John Swinney. And our team at the desk this morning, broadcaster Christiane Amanpour, former Conservative Defence Secretary Penny Mordaunt, and...
Oh yeah, did you see her get absolutely
fucking believe I saw it. Absolutely beautiful.
She got absolutely
last leg.
Yeah, on the last leg. I don't know who the comedian is. I don't recognise him. But
Vittorio, what's his last name? What's their last name? I should say. I'm jumping to gender conclusions right now. Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. Go watch that, everyone. It was good fun. Well, I might be about to appear in front of you. That's what.
I'm trying technologically very poorly to bring that into being.
It's me. Hello, everyone. It's my face.
There you go. Yes, here we go. So she appeared on the last leg. Why do right wingers go on this show? They like the last time. The last time
she thinks she's cool because some people thirsted over her for a bit, and then they realized no, she's like a.
Well, she was sword mummy at the coronation, wasn't she?
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah, like a load of people went all sub, and it was like no. Just remember her politics, please, everyone. Yeah, let's listen.
Indeed.
Warmongering has always been a male-dominated industry. And you've really smashed the glass ceiling. Penny's always been such a supporter of disabled people. You're very supportive of like the prosthetics industry. You were at you were promoting on Twitter an arms fair in Saudi Arabia recently.
Reminds me a little bit of the Frankie Boyle joke about, what was it, say what you like about the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, but we're going to have one hell of a Paralympics team in a few years. And he wasn't wrong, because like every other medal winner for the GB team was some fucker had his legs blown off by the Taliban. Oh, hang on.
I think you know, I'm so happy I'm sitting here, brother. You gotta let me respond to that.
I would say that investing in our defence in
my
this
defense,
particular week
I'm on your
is
side.
rather important. I don't think you are, sweetheart.
Very much,
I genuinely have to get to the mystery guest.
Just one last thing, just as a positive thing, I think it's brilliant. Warmongering has always been a male-dominated industry. You really smashed the glass ceiling.
Face like a slapped arse. You love to see it.
That's beautiful. And his last line was like because she came in to defend herself again, and it's basically actually the last bit she said, which is extremely like homophobic coded as well. She's like, "Let people like you," and it's like, wait, you're assuming, you're assuming, yeah, go, chuck it to the end. It's good. It's good. I'm not gonna.
Well, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce you to some other women that put their lives on the line to defend people like you being able to do what you want to do in your life and make jokes about the government and all sorts of things and enjoy the freedoms that we do in this country.
So, tonight's mystery guest.
Wait for it. Wait for the last line.
It's a tough sell to a guy from Belfast. You know?
True.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's
absolutely bless him. Love to see it. But I don't know why they keep going on, because that was, what was her name?
Penny Mordaunt.
Well, no, Penny Mordaunt was that, but there was a previous story that went on. And,
really?
James Acaster absolutely fucking rinsed her. Why are you going on comedy shows? You're going on a comedy show to go, we need to invest in our military. Why?
They think they've got the sauce, and they don't have the
That
sauce.
was it, Baroness Farsi, who was like one of the cool Tories, because she said they're fucking Islamophobic. Yeah, obviously, bitch, we know. Obviously. And yeah, Acaster absolutely told her to go fuck herself or something. It was brilliant.
Sarah Sultana from your party, former Labour MP.
Nope. She's walking that way.
Indeed.
I've not watched these before.
Well,
oh look, they've got some northern representation. That's Scotland, and that's it. Okay, great.
Morning. Let's take you straight to the live pictures of what's happening this morning. This is Portsmouth. You can see the HMS Prince of Wales aircraft.
Well, why would we go into Portsmouth? We're not involved in the war, apparently.
Yeah, quite. What's funny is, like, the 2 or 3 aircraft that are actually capable of operating off the deck of that thing are presumably, like, being, like, sellotaped together with duct tape, and there's a guy running around with WD-40 as we speak. Our armed forces, I'm all for it continuing. Our armed forces have been so run down and so defunded that there's just so little we have to offer in this situation now.
Well, that's
kind of funny.
because all of the money, it's not like we're spending that much less. It's just it's all going to arms companies and nothing else now.
HMS Dragon, I think, is essentially laid up at the moment. There's some issues that they can't get Dragon out there, so there's just very little we have to do.
Are we just honestly, I think we're just gonna have to send some paper planes.
Yes.
It's the only answer, I think. Just paint them, put a Royal Air Force thing on the side, it'd be fine. Would Trump even know? He'll just be told they've sent planes, and technically we will have sent planes, and then maybe he won't, like, economically eviscerate us. You never know.
Aircraft carrier on the left that is expected to be made ready to go to the Gulf soon. This is Tel Aviv in Israel, where...
Hang on, it's going to be ready to go to the Gulf soon. We are already, 9 days into this? And it's going to take a week or whatever to get there. What the fuck are they expecting it to do? What's the point of this?
It's like, it's absolutely starting our attention. Look, we're getting ready, Daddy. We're getting ready, Daddy. Getting as he's getting absolutely, like, on daily, he's getting absolutely rinsed by Trump.
And he's like, oh, please, Daddy, we're nearly there. We'll get there, honest. I'm trying to be a cook. I'm just literally incapable of cuckoldery right now.
Just the thing is, you have to remember, like, Starmer in this situation is absolutely desperate to have the continuation of the North American trade deal, basically the US trade deal, which basically gives everything to Palantir, etc., etc. So there's like of the main reasons why, and also the intelligence sort of apparatus that is interlinked, and Trump will have threatened to withdraw from that. Not that we get anything of any value, given that this was obviously being planned for a long time in the US and Israel. Like the fact that we're running around, dancing around, trying to get ships ready shows that we were completely out of the loop on this one. Which then begs the question, what are we gaining out of any sort of security relationship with the US at this point?
Well, exactly.
I would postulate zero.
Yeah, the Five Eyes thing where we're supposed to intelligence share, they didn't tell us about anything. No. We don't learn. What do we get out of that? Presumably they get all of our secrets, and we couldn't even fucking access the information on Mandelson being a nonce. Which the American government absolutely had and could have told us.
It could have told us, and we did. So yeah, it's just absolute kayfabe. Atlanticism is a brain disease.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Iran has still been.
But thankfully, we've got a trilateral commission prime minister, so everything's going to be exactly the same as it always was. Fucking kill me.
Trying to attack, and Beirut in Lebanon, where Israel has been attacking. And the headlines this morning, of course, dominated by what's happening in the Middle East. The Sunday Times and the Sunday Telegraph both lead on the political aspect of this at home for Keir Starmer. Trump's latest telling off on the front of the Sunday Times. And Tony Blair saying that the government should have backed America from the start.
Learn nothing. Learn absolutely nothing. Get to The Hague.
Suck the shit out of my ass. The fact that he's still having a chance to appear and say anything and wasn't locked up. In a way, you know what? I take great joy from the fact that Blair is now being an enormous pain in the ass for Starmer.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys should have executed him ages ago.
Yeah.
In Minecraft. You know, you could have, you absolutely could have taken him off the board, metaphorically, rather than basically building your entire policy framework around everything the Tony Blair Institute for Mass Destruction put in its various PDFs over the last 5 years. Like, they could have ostracized him, but no, because they were desperate to wed him via Mandelson, that means that they're inextricably linked. So now Blair says this, which is absolute table stakes. Blair just wants more carnage in the Middle East because it makes it more likely that he'll get invited back and pay more money. Like they just want, they absolutely now are trapped with that and can't escape it, which is glorious. Also, the idea that Trump's saying, "I don't need your help in the Gulf now." If Starmer had a backbone, he'd say, "Okay, cool. Well, don't land another single jet on any air bases then.
Yeah.
Fuck off." But of course he won't, because he's a rude.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Quite so.
The Sunday Telegraph. The Mail on Sunday also splashes on Blair's comments, but features the faces of Holly and Jessica.
Yeah, Ian Huntley did. Can we get some lulz in chat?
Yeah.
Two girls killed all those years ago by Ian Huntley, who died yesterday. That is also the Sunday Mirror's lead. But there are still good things happening in the world. It's important to remember that.
Ian Huntley died. Yeah.
Be talking to John Swinney later, just one of the many Scots celebrating what's on the front of Scotland on Sunday. Scotland's amazing victory at Murrayfield yesterday. So
also R.I.P. England. Sorry, folks, but
that was hilarious. Honest to God, I mean, I don't like the Italians winning at many things because they're quite annoying bastards. But beating England in rugby, having a bunch of posh twats being beaten by like second division Italians is
catharsis. Yeah, there's some joy there. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely lovely work.
A very serious situation. We're 8 days into this war. Donald Trump having another blast at Keir Starmer. What is going on?
It's hard to know. We don't know. I don't know whether Britain is formally at war right now. But to be fair, the US and Israel have so...
There's no such thing as formally at war. There's no declaration of war anymore. This isn't the fucking 19th century.
Your status changes. A little sort of symbol that says status next to your country. It goes from happy face to sad face.
Yeah,
when you're officially on war.
On Facebook, currently, Britain, it's complicated.
Yeah.
You know?
Much firepower there, and they're already well into it. The most important thing to say today, 1 week afterwards, is that the goals are still unclear and the military strategy, which may or may not be considered successful, has collided with reality. I believe Israel thought that killing Khamenei and all the leadership at the very beginning would cause the regime to fracture.
Why? Why did they ever think that was a thing? If they killed Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel wouldn't collapse. If you killed Trump, America wouldn't collapse. If you killed Starmer, Britain would be better, frankly.
Racism and ignorance. I'm absolutely no ally of the mullahs. Like, look, but the whole point is like, yeah, and Iranians would have eventually and should have eventually been the ones to push the country into where they wanted it to go. A reminder that the mullahs are there because the US put them there. We did this last time, didn't we? It's like, there is no organic sort of democracy in the Middle East because we fuck with it every time it gets anywhere near getting anything to do with liberal.
Yeah, they literally, Trump saying that he was no Churchill was such an apposite, albeit completely unintentionally so, comment on his behalf. Because absolutely. Churchill literally already fucked with Iran when they had a democratically elected socialist leader who they overthrew and replaced them with the Shah. And now here we are. Maybe learn your lessons of history and stop fucking around. Let the Iranian people do their shit.
I know.
That hasn't happened, although I know they want that to happen.
And we'll hear it later from a member.
When has bombing people made them more chill? When has that ever happened?
It's
ever?
Not. No, stiff upper lip. Remember the fiction of like the stiff upper lip during the Blitz. That that completely fictionalized idea of what Britain was like during the Blitz, rather than like deeply paranoid, frightened, and morality on the brink in several instances. There's somehow, because particularly in Britain, we've got this bizarre idea of the only time we were getting bombed was that we would do stiff upper lip shit. Bomb from the skies, that is. And yet that's just, we've got this Blitz spirit bullshit fictional idea of what Britain was like and cities being bombed were like during that period, and it was not remotely like that fiction. And I think that plays into some of the discourse around what we think people will endure through bombing and what that's like. It's just
like it just deepens the resolve of the people being bombed to say fuck you to the people bombing them. That's all it ever does.
Hey, look, I'm married to a Serbian who lived in Belgrade when NATO got spicy with it. So I know exactly what I know very well what that feels like for a city, or rather, I'm very well informed on that point. And no, it does not. You don't suddenly fall in love with the people bombing you. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Of the Iranian regime, the Iranian ambassador. But Penny, in terms of the politics for the government's trying to take a very careful line, supporting America in one sense, having RAF jets.
Well, no, not careful, pathetic, spineless.
Yeah, pathetic, craven.
Like at least, like the Australians are like, no, we're fully on board with this shit. Yeah. At least that's honest.
Yeah, but so are we. This is the thing. It's like are we. They're not towing a line. They're just doing everything Trump says and just saying, because our press is completely fucking stupid. They're just saying, we're not getting involved in this, but they are getting involved exactly as much as anyone else is. Like they're literally getting stuck in.
They're literally using our bases. How are we not at war?
Why are we not interrogating this? Why is Koonsberg not going, well, we are getting
because she's not a journalist, as previously stated. Yeah.
Jets in the sky intercepting.
And that's the joke that I mean, literally, we call this award-winning journalism because she literally won an award, right? Like National Journalist of the Year or some shit. So No Justice and I literally say this all the time. She's award-winning.
Yeah, an award-winning is less stupid than it is bought off. Wayward historian. Yeah, that's a fair observation. Yeah.
Iranian drones and missiles. Your party wants them to go much further.
Look, it is ridiculous that the President of the United States, our most important security partner, is a secondary audience to the Prime Minister than his own backbench MPs. And
hang on. Whoa. So you, okay, Dame Penny Mordaunt, you think that he shouldn't listen to the directly elected people that we have sent to Parliament, but should listen to American president, who we have absolutely no say over whatsoever? Weren't you calling for fucking national sovereignty with Brexit?
Weird that it's weird. I also want to drop on International Women's Day. This is a president who solid evidence is now emerging that he raped a 13-year-old and then physically assaulted her.
Yes.
So
and of course,
the guy she's defending right now
was found legally culpable of the rape of Jeannie Carroll as well.
Yeah, not to mention abuse previous wife, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, this is the personal problems, let alone the obvious fascism coming out of the US right now. What is she doing? Just what?
There's nothing more pathetic than a British person kowtowing to Trump. Like, that's embarrassing. Call yourself... Look, I don't call myself a patriot, but what I will say is that I'm far more patriotic than any of these pricks. Because I don't think that a foreign nonce should be running our foreign policy.
It's just like, I mean, cravenness to the US is pathetic, but to this particular administration is particularly despicable and just pathetic. It is pathetic. It's just utterly pathetic.
Yeah. Sorry, Jean Carroll, not Jean E. Carroll. My bad. Apologies.
A lot of what we have seen over this last week, the basing row, for example, was a confected row to appeal to Labour backbenchers. There's no operational reasons why you couldn't, even if we were involved directly in the action, you couldn't divide up particular actions, and we were always going to have to use those bases for defensive capability.
But hang on, the government was making quite a clear point that they didn't seem sure about the legality of the operations that Israel and America
here
were
you
going to
have it.
undertake.
This is the crux of it, because process is more important to this Prime Minister than outcome. And you saw this again in his weakness with his own National Security Council. We know from the leak that happened. He was content to secure what he thought was the wrong outcome rather than change the process. And if you have a Prime Minister that is weak at...
Jesus Christ. Okay, there are many things you can criticise this gobshite for, but having an actual, essentially, cabinet decision raised by a cabinet rather than just him dictatorially saying, no, this is the way it has to be.
Yep.
Like, you know, he's one minister. Like, he's the Prime Minister. That was why it was initially called that. It was initially a joke, right? A kind of way of putting down the person who was the Prime Minister, whose official title is the First Lord of the Exchequer. That's literally the thing. Anyway.
Well, it's the same as President was chosen as a title for the US initially because it was boring and secretarial and would therefore not imbibe its holder with a sense of ego. Didn't last long, admittedly, but that was the purpose of using the word president originally. So
anyway, the point is they're supposed to have a discussion about things, and come to a decision between them. Not him just go, no, this is the way it has to be, and everyone has to just get in line, because that's just a dictatorship with extra steps.
But as with so many things, these norms have been long shattered.
Yeah.
And you know, in many cases, lots of the international norms have been obliterated as we just stood by and watched a genocide. The most publicly visible genocide in history being broadcast to the world and watched the entirety of the planet do basically nothing when it comes, at government level, do nothing. So those norms are gone. But within the UK, we've been doing interventionisms to an increasing level, aided by the digital element of that, which I think has to some extent eroded, our cyber, the way that we do cyber attacks externally. We receive them, but also the way that we do that sort of attacking on others, I think has also normalized some of that. Well, we don't need to go to cabinet or approach Parliament anymore. So it's just, that we've stomped on that eggshell now. It's in pieces. We're not going to see it unless there is a radical shift. We're not going to see a world where a Prime Minister bothers to consult with cabinet, let alone with Parliament anymore. And that should be getting called out much more vigorously than it is. It's not being called out at all, to my mind. I'm not seeing it being called out at all.
Indeed.
At home, you have a Prime Minister that is weak on the international stage.
But in terms then of his relationship with Donald Trump, Zara, I mean, you're somebody on the left who thinks that Keir Starmer shouldn't have been as friendly with Donald Trump in the first place. If you look at Trump's tweets, are you pleased that Donald Trump seems to be falling out with Keir Starmer?
I mean, it doesn't come as a surprise. Trump falls in and out of friendships with everyone around him. What annoys me is Keir Starmer not having a clear position. Initially, he said he wasn't going to get involved, only to U-turn days later and provide UK bases to the US. He says the UK is not directly involved, but American planes and jets are leaving from UK soil to bomb Iranians. We are involved. He is gaslighting the nation, and he has not learnt the lessons from 2003 that when we get involved in the US's illegal wars, there are consequences for the rest of the world to pay.
So much to talk about with the three of you this
morning. Of course, it takes Zara to say that. I mean, she was always going to say that, but of course it takes Zara to say that. It's like, why is that left to the left, the ostensibly left? I mean, Zara is absolutely a left-wing politician. Why is that left to be a thing said by the left-wing politician, as if that somehow any of what Zara said is a left-wing stance, rather than stating completely objective facts about the current position of the government and Britain in relation to the war. It's just, oh man, this is why I don't watch these shows, because I'm just like, God, I hate the balance thing so much. The impartiality thing is so broken. It's just utterly broken.
It's ridiculous, yeah. Which is why I brought you on, to torture you.
I know, to torture me. You are torturing me in real time, and you know what? My wife's in the room with me, and she must be enjoying watching me suffer. So that's also good.
Good.
She's grinning at me, but also doing sad face, and it's sort of a yes, I am enjoying it, but I don't want you to suffer. Love is a wonderful series of contradictions all piled up on top of each other.
Well, that was Shakespearean. I loved it.
Morning, and let's just recap what has been going on. We are just over a week since the beginning of this war. But the reason Israel attacked and the reason Iran is fighting back is a clash over Israel's right to exist. And
no, it isn't. Iran is not a threat to anyone. The people who are a threat to other nations, as we can clearly see, are both Israel and America.
It's funny that they continue to repeatedly say this, and yet there is just no evidence of it being the case. And it's funny because you'll get some like iron-trousered, sort of large medal-toting wonk somewhere going, "Oh well, you don't know anything about the attacks that we suffer from Iran." It's like, again, no, what? No, there's no evidence of these attacks. Whereas what all of us can see with our eyes is the misery at scale being caused by Israel with every single one of its neighbors.
Yes.
And the fact that it's just taking land without any sort of redress whatsoever. Yeah, anyway.
Indeed.
And the Iranian government's ambition to keep control. It's a battle over the past, but also a contest for the future of a region of the world which, even if it feels far away, affects you and me. Our safety, the price of oil, therefore the price of everything, and who Britain's friends are around the world. That point seems in question this morning, with the American president seeming to wage a one-sided war of words on Keir Starmer. And of course, the human toll is mounting. More than 1,000 Iranians have been killed, hundreds in other parts of the region, and we'll hear later from the United Nations that hundreds of thousands of people are already displaced and on the move. The government here is trying to tread a tricky line. It didn't support America and Israel's first attacks, but RAF jets are shooting down Iranian missiles and drones. And sophisticated American bombers have arrived at RAF Fairford in Gloucestershire, from where we are expecting that they will be taking part in strikes on Iran. The UK is perhaps both in and out of this war. Let's talk to the Foreign Secretary, Yvette Cooper, who joins us this morning. Thank you for coming in. I just want to show you first. This is what our supposed closest ally said about the UK last night. Donald Trump said, "We don't need people that join wars after we've already won." You're our chief diplomat. What's your response to Donald Trump today?
As a historian, Americans going on about other people joining wars late is a bit rich.
Yeah, it is fun. I did enjoy that line from Trump. It's like, yeah, I mean, interesting choice there, Trump, given the US's whole deal in both of the previous world wars. By the way, we're totally getting to the point where this Gulf War is going to escalate horribly, and
there's already talk about America maybe using a nuclear warhead, which
they're talking about using it on the main sort of mountain fortress where a lot of the manufacturing goes on, and some of the nuclear capabilities. But then
there's the possibility of noises from Russia saying that they would bring Iran under the umbrella of the protection of Russian nukes, which would then mean if they nuke them again, there would then be a nuclear third world war. So this is genuinely getting into quite dangerous territory. I mean, it already was, because they're literally bombing places where people live, but for the future of our species, kind of dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're playing with fire in the most reckless way.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Well, the job of the British Prime Minister is to take decisions in the UK national interest, not in the interests of any other country, but in the UK's national interest. That's what Keir Starmer has done every step of the way, both in terms of the initial decision not to be involved in those initial strikes that took place, and also in the decision to provide defensive support when we see Iranian strikes on partner countries where British citizens are residing. Those are decisions in the UK.
So those are partner countries like Qatar? But I love it. They're trying to sell it like, oh, but the peaceful protesters and the women in Iran are treated really poorly, which is why we're going to bomb them from bases in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, you're taking the piss, lads. Come on.
I know. It's just, yeah. I'm trying to find some clown sound effects to play over the top of Yvette Cooper here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. What else are we going to learn?
National interest. And it won't surprise you that, obviously, we don't agree with President Trump on every issue.
But what's your message back to him? I mean, he is publicly, for the whole world to see, telling off the British Prime Minister. This is meant to be our closest ally. What do you say to him?
Well, again, I would say that this is about what's in the UK's interest. It's for the US president to decide what he thinks is in the US national interest, and that's for him to do. But it is our job as the UK government to decide what's in the UK national interest, and that doesn't.
Who do they think this kind of answer appeals to?
It's
pathetic.
Are you hearing this bike horn, by the way?
No,
it's getting thresholded out, sadly. But I'm just playing I'm playing like a comedy kind of clown car bike horn while she's talking. Because,
that's probably
it's like catharsis, yeah.
And it's probably more information dense than the answer being given.
I'm learning more from bikehorn2.org than from
the fucking foreign secretary.
The fucking foreign secretary, yeah.
Means simply agreeing with other countries or outsourcing our foreign policy to other countries. But we have to be able to take
They both
those
look so
decisions.
fucking stupid,
Of course,
don't they?
we
Look at the
have
state of
a
both.
long, deep, important security partnership with the United States, but we also have some issues where we disagree in the British
Do we though?
No.
I'm not going to but having everyone in stream, having listened to what Kevin and I have said about the not us being us with our crazy lefty thoughts, but just the key facts of clearly Britain is in the dark on this invasion. So and we've been shown to be in the dark about several previous iterations of this. What information are we getting? What is this security relationship? Because it appears to be non-functioning.
Yeah.
So what is she on about? Sorry, go
and
on.
not just that, but the security aspect of it is shit. But also, we still get tariffed, so we don't get anything for this. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I suppose technically, unlike some allies who also do all of this shit, they haven't threatened to invade us. So we've got one up on Denmark, I guess.
Yeah.
Pictures here of President Trump and Keir Starmer laughing and joking as they did in the Oval Office, the King handing over this invitation.
That was still my favourite bit ever, because it's obvious that Trump is illiterate as fuck. When he goes, oh, you can read it to everyone. He goes, no, I'll let you read it, Keir.
Yeah, I know. The reminder, Trump actually can't read.
He's literally illiterate. Like, there's literally filmed footage of his deposition, and he can't read things. Also, I love it, right? He pled the Fifth Amendment to everything in that, including when he was asked to confirm his own name. He pled the Fifth to whether or not he was Donald Trump.
Oh my
which
God.
is,
incredible.
like, I think you might have something to hide, mate, in all honesty.
To come and have tea with the King. This is a public and serious spat between the Prime Minister and the man who's meant to be our closest ally.
Well, you'll forgive me that I focus on the substance rather than on social media posts, and I've
also
learned for this long enough.
It's so fucking weird and fetishistic of individuals. He is not our ally. The United States is our ally.
Absolutely.
He is a temporary person, in theory, to that position.
Yeah, increasingly temporary at this point, which is nice.
Yes. No, he hopefully, fingers crossed, the Reaper.
Hey,
the Reaper comes from.
Are not going to go up much further before bad things start happening in the US. Let's just put, if it starts cracking $120, $130 a barrel, there's going to be things are going to get spicy.
I love it.
There.
American, you cheeky cunts. You're like, oh my god, gasoline costs this much, and that's like, I couldn't get a drip. I couldn't get a drip out of the fucking nozzle for that price.
There's that viral video. We're going off track so bad. There's that viral video of the guy pulling the Trump stickers off his vehicle. I didn't care less about that guy. All I was looking at was the big sort of petrol station sort of price totem that they have, and going, that's in dollars, and it is so much cheaper than petrol is here and has been for about 40 years.
Yeah, it's like it's about 1/10 of the price or something. It's ridiculous.
Not that I think it should be any lower, but it's just like, you know, if you want to understand lots of the US's problems, it's extremely cheap. Gas prices are like high on that.
Well, that's why I always when someone says like, oh, they've got a gas guzzler and it gets like 20 miles to the gallon, I'm like, how can you afford to drive that? Oh, right, because it's cheaper than water. Yeah. Amazing.
I mean, literally, if you live in Flint, yeah, exactly.
And it's probably better to drink than if you drink water in Flint, yeah.
The American president, so should we ignore him? Should we just ignore
the
what
social
Donald
media
Trump
post?
says?
If you follow every single social media post, you spend an awful lot of time doing social media posts in response.
Well, the president.
Can I just say, isn't it on International Women's Day? Isn't it just incredible to have these two intellectual powerhouses representing women across the country? I'm just thinking of all the actual sensible women across the country looking at these two and going,
well, look, the way I look at it, right, it just proves to me the equality across genders, because we've had to put up for generations upon generations of useless men being complete
useless, unfathomably ignorant, cynical men on screen. At least that's happening now with women being unfathomably evil and stupid on screen. That is true.
Women are capable of being the most egregious bastards as well, which just goes to show you we're all equal.
Progress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
This literally is liberal idpol at its worst. Like, oh, we've got a woman foreign secretary. Yay! Someone with a pussy's doing the bombing now. Isn't that lovely? Fucking Christ almighty.
Should we ignore it?
I think the substance we should concentrate on is what is the right thing to do. There is obviously a very serious conflict now underway in the Middle East, in the region, and we've seen
that was remarkable. Okay, news
from
to
the
everyone.
Iranian regime on so many different partner countries. It's why we're providing the Typhoons, the F-35s, the jets to the region, and air defences, strengthening air defences as well.
I thought we weren't getting involved.
It's also why we're working.
Yeah, exactly. We're literally getting involved. Also, breaking news. Apparently, the son of the former Ayatollah has been elected as the new leader of Iran. So, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
The king is dead. Long live the king, I guess.
Working immensely hard to help British citizens return home from the region, despite all of the airspace and restrictions that are in place at the moment. It's that substance I think we should focus on, because that's the most important thing to the UK.
Right, this is classic Labour politics. In fact, classic uniparty bullshit. You saw the briefed line go. Oh yeah, you can see my face. Hello everyone, you can see my face again. You could see the briefed line go ka-chunk in front of her eyes there as she started saying the word substance over and over and over again. God, I hate our crop of politicians.
Yeah. They're just robots who've been programmed to say a certain thing on a certain day.
Because when you have nothing to actually say, when there is nothing of any substance, any substance you have to say, then you just end up having to repeat these brief lines. This is why Zach, this is why Mamdani, this is why politicians of the current breed of the left that are coming out that we should be very excited about have realized that if you believe in something, then when you're asked a question, you give a human answer to it.
Yeah.
And it's infinitely more appealing than ka-chunk, I have to say the word substance over and over and over again to Laura Koonsberg on the television.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And in fact, the government has been highlighting how good a relationship Keir Starmer has with Donald Trump for many months, telling us that only Keir Starmer has been able to get such a good deal with the Americans because he's got a personal relationship. That seems to be in trouble. Do you deny their relationship's in trouble?
Well,
Keir Starmer doesn't even have a fucking personal relationship with his sock. Yeah. I'm sorry. No.
Together, and of course the Prime Minister works closely with the President on a whole series of issues.
He must
and you're
be
right,
furious about
there's
that.
issues around the tech partnerships, around trade, on a whole series of different things.
Let's pause there because that's telling. It's always fun when they tell on themselves. So she will have been privy to. This is where we can start getting to think about what's actually materially happening here. She will have been privy to conversations via the various kind of bits of the civil service doing trade. She'll have been in those conversations. And it is those brief moments where she's not dancing the line and is saying something honest that we can, well, not honest is the wrong word to use, but something that's just sort of actually closer to the prefrontal cortex, that you can go, okay, right, that's telling. Because what did she say there? She said tech industry relationships and trade, which is the same thing. And it's just telling what we've said about Palantir. It's just worth everyone watching this to just like, yeah, grab that. Laura, well done. Inadvertently, you've given us a useful piece of journalism, which is, okay, so that really is what this is about, isn't it? That's why Starmer's so afraid, because those two things that you just said, which again, it's just one thing, it's the trade deal, where we give all of our data to Palantir and sell off the NHS even more, and also massively increase the cost of generics, drugs, and so on and so on and so on. Team ADHD, let's go. Yes, Miss Hire, you're right. Look, that moment is a genuinely useful moment for us to understand what's at play here and why we are being, as a country, so supine to the US. Sorry, it's really worth. That's a very
nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Partnership will continue to do so.
Doesn't the evidence suggest, though, that actually Donald Trump might have a point? And your former leader, Tony Blair, also told an event this week that actually the UK should absolutely have been alongside the US from the start.
Well, I know there are some people in politics who think that we should just unquestioningly agree with the US, whatever. I know there are also some people in politics who think that we should never agree with the US. And
who the fuck is that person? Who?
Yeah, what? You know what's really important is to invent people, and refer to them in your arguments about the world.
Yeah, and there are some people who we should think we should communicate only in semaphore.
Yeah,
like what are you talking about? Who are these fucking people?
Yeah.
We should never go along with anything, any joint action.
I just think Tony
neither
Blair,
of those things.
Former
well,
leader,
this is my point.
You were a
to
minister
him.
in his government.
Yeah,
what would you say to him?
And this is my point to him. I don't understand. There are people who think we should just unquestioningly do so, and that I just think is not in.
Also, again, that's sort of telling that, like, the thing that we always knew but they would deny for ages was that Blair would just do whatever the Americans wanted. We were their little poodle. And they go, no, this is in Britain's best interest. He's serving the British interest. And she's like, I know some people, Tony Blair, for instance, wants us to just, go along with America and all things. You were in his fucking cabinet.
Media studies is an extremely important and an ever increasingly important degree and subject for people to study. And I point people to the cultural cope that is the film with Hugh Grant dancing around and telling the US president to go stuff it. Because Love Actually is a beautiful capturing of the feeling in the country of the extent to which that was the opposite of the actual case.
Yes.
Like the copium at play there of Britain being like, we're not doing everything the US tells us, and we were in the process of doing everything the US tells us. That's a really culture studies, very, very important for teaching us a lot about ourselves.
Indeed.
The UK's national interest. I also think, having been a minister in the last Labour government, I also think it is important to learn lessons from what went wrong in Iraq and to recognise whether that.
Can you? It might be easier to try and point at anything that went right.
Yes, exactly.
Like what positive came out of that at all? Including, by the way, Iran becoming so fucking dominant over that region. Because if your whole reason was to try and stop Iran from doing that, maybe destabilising and destroying and breaking the back of one of its geopolitical competitors was probably not a great idea. Just a thought. It's almost like there was a balance in that region that you fucked up because George W. Bush was a fucking lunatic. And America was attacked once ever and went, destroy the world! Whereas, like, attacks like that happen all the time, all across the world. And we don't fucking bitch out about it for decades. Fucking hell.
This is about ensuring that the purpose for any action that the UK becomes a part of, and just recognising that all of our decisions need to be about what is right for British citizens and in the UK's national interest. No other country would say, look, we want to just outsource our foreign policy. Everyone would say that actually what you need to do is to take...
Motherfucker, there's a whole thing called NATO. Maybe you've heard of it. Which is literally just that. Virtually every country in the Western Hemisphere has outsourced its fucking foreign policy to America since like 1952.
Yeah, and it's also funny for this particular person, this particular individual, let alone her government, to mention the word outsourcing, given how utterly wedded to outsourcing their fucking laundry that they are. absolutely.
Well, maybe they should set up a quango as to whether we should join this war or not. Have they thought about getting PricewaterhouseCoopers involved?
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Decisions
Come on, Deloitte, give us the
ourselves.
answer.
That's what Keir Starmer has been doing. And I think he's right to stand up for Britain and Britain's interests.
But whether it is Donald Trump or Tony Blair or other people whose assessment you might not agree with, is there not a point that the UK has responded slowly here? 7 days ago, the Defence Secretary sat in that chair and told everyone watching that the UK was not involved and was not involved in these strikes. By the end of that day, the Prime Minister had popped up and said, oh, actually, America can use our bases.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
And if anybody really wants evidence of the slowness of response, you were told that this attack was likely weeks ago, and the ship that's meant to protect Cyprus...
Oh, well, that's
Is
even
there
more...
evidence of that?
Well, I haven't seen that, but, I mean, I hate to say that she spoke authoritatively enough that she might have seen something. Anyway, the point being, if they actually did know about this and they were so poorly prepared...
It's even funnier.
It is even funnier, but also is even more embarrassing for them.
Yep.
Certainly. Because we've now having to, fucking get papier-mâché over the holes in the side of our aircraft carrier to get it to the Middle East, maybe sometime in the next month.
Navy Baz shoving silver duct tape all over that ship like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, this is it.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Honestly, it's so embarrassing that we're essentially our entire armed force is like 5 nuclear bombs with duct taped cars around it. That's it. We've spent all of our money on the nukes and we've got nothing else.
Yeah, it's just in the back of a custom Defender 110 with the kind of the rear roof chopped off, and we just kind of drive it to the location, and a guy runs out with a remote control and presses go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's all you need. It's fine.
Press, HMS Dragon, is, as we speak, still in the dock in the United Kingdom. You have been slow, have you not?
So
it's because it's broken. I said that a minute ago.
Yeah, what do you want it to fucking do? If it goes out to sea now, it will sink. It's got fucking holes in it.
Is there? The first of all is that...
No, this is issues about the speed of response.
And I want to deal with each of them. So you've got, I think, 2 issues about the nature of the response. The first thing, I think, is that these were 2 separate decisions about not providing the support or being involved in the initial strikes that the US and Israel took. And we had also continually argued that we wanted to see the negotiation, the diplomatic processes continue.
Okay, and Iran was at the table, and then America and Israel started bombing them.
It's amazing how much that's not being talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
Iran were in good faith. I mean, I'm sure they weren't blind to what they were expected to happen. They were in good faith engaging with these discussions with 2 absolute American... Sorry, I refuse to say American, sorry, US morons.
Yeah.
And then... I was like, oh, there was literally the one morning it was like, oh, they're making some breakthroughs. And then Israel were like, fuck that, we're going to do the thing we always do, which is, breakthroughs in actual democracy and diplomacy, press the big red button that says fire weapons at them.
Yeah.
They always do this.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like why when the Palestinians, diplomatic mission turned up, they started firing at the building they were staying in. Because they wanted to kill them, because the idea of a negotiated settlement is not what they want.
Yep.
Yeah. Iran had already said that they would give up all nuclear enriched material they had and would cease ever doing stockpiling it ever again.
Yeah, they won. They
literally
given everything.
And that was a completely new thing, which they'd never said. They said previously that was a red line they would never cross, that their sovereignty and blah, 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 all that bollocks, right? And they went, no, actually, yeah, no, we will do that. And Israel went, oh, shit, there might be an actual deal here. Oh, no, we wanted a war. So they just did the war.
Yep.
Were difficult, and don't get me wrong, those were difficult, but we were pursuing those. So there was a first initial decision. Then, once we saw the reckless nature of the Iranian response, which frankly shocked all of the countries across the Gulf who are now being targeted.
Not the scale of the reaction, the fact that there was a reaction, and Iran were like, you know what, fuck you, the lot of yous. That's what it was impolite that they decided they were actually going to respond robustly.
Yeah.
That's
well, because some countries are allowed to defend themselves and some are not.
Yeah, it's also worth saying part of the reason that the US are kind of pushing on their allies to get involved, by the way, right now, is because the US has had has been pretty much blinded in the region by having this, like, multiple of its major region-wide radar systems bombed to shit.
Yeah.
And they're running out of intercept missiles, if not very low on stockpiles, if not worse. We still don't know how many servicemen, men and women have been killed. Like the scale of impact on the US military right now, we don't know the scale of damage at the various bombed naval the kind of naval bases that the US, or air bases. We don't know the scale of damage because they're keeping such a tight lid on it, and because flipping US and European satellite companies have been refusing to update satellite imagery other than over Iran, so we aren't able to compare and understand the scale of damage.
Yeah.
So,
but this is like, again, with the terrain and with the fact that the Iranian people are very proud and, you know, loyal and all the rest of it, you're good, and of course they have a functioning military that Iraq did not have. This was always going to turn into Vietnam too. It couldn't not end this way. And the worst of it is it's going to affect everyone, because about a third of the world's natural gas and oil go through the Straits of Hormuz, and that's basically been shut down.
Yeah, and not to mention the fertilizer, not to mention the sulfur for sulfuric acid, which is a feedstock in just so many things. The scale is, it's bad, folks. Yeah. It's real bad.
Although I did like the historic, comparison of having Abraham Lincoln be shot again. just saying, like, America, don't
2 for 2.
Don't whatever you do, don't call it the fucking USS John F. Kennedy's cranium. Just don't do it.
I mean, they were shocked by the nature of the Iranian reaction. Then it was right to respond to that targeting by Iran against partner countries. There's a second question that you asked, though, about the military response and the nature of the defensive response. So I think, as the Defence Secretary told you last week,
we need to, honestly, if I give one bit of credit to Pete Hegseth, it's for unironically being honest in changing the name of it to the Secretary of War.
Yeah,
because we in Britain are still pretending it's the Defence Secretary. We haven't done a defensive anything in years. When was the last time the British Army defended Britain? It doesn't. It just fucking doesn't, right? Like, it's protecting my freedom. In Qatar. How did my freedoms get to Qatar? When did that happen? Ridiculous. Absolute nonsense. It's just war. Stop pretending otherwise.
Fighter jets, Typhoons and F-35s, air defence radar to the region, to Cyprus, and strengthen support in Qatar, including...
That backs up what I just said. It's like Trump was like, are you an ally and do you have radar? We will cancel any trade deal with you unless you put radar in over there now, because we don't have any anymore.
Imagine that, not having radar. Is this 1920? What do you mean you don't have radar?
Iran's wiped it all out. They've absolutely obliterated the US radar coverage in the area, like, very, very successfully. Which has been fun to witness.
It has, because again, they thought, again, it must be racism. They thought they could just kill one bloke and it would collapse and they wouldn't be able to fight back. No, Iran was always a capable military force. Like, it's literally one of the reasons Israel was so desperate to do this was because after the fall of Iraq, Iran basically ran the fucking joint, right? Yeah. Iran had become along with Saudi Arabia, I suppose, the kind of powers in the region. And so clearly they're like the IRGC and all of these groups are powerful enough to be able to fuck you up. They're not going to win in a conventional war, but they've got mountains. They don't need to fight a conventional war.
This is it. Yeah, they could just grind for a long time. This is something that the US and Israel have wanted to do for decades. This is not. It's just that they've decided. It comes back to Gaza. It's like, well, no one fucking stopped us in Gaza. Okay, cool. Let's just do Iran now. Yeah, great.
Well, literally, there's a clip going viral from 1993 of Benjamin Netanyahu saying Iran was just so close to getting a nuclear bomb. They're going to get it any minute, lads. I promise. From 1993, when I was 6. Mad shit.
It's staggering.
In Portsmouth.
Well, the most important
still there.
The most important thing, I think, has been that those fighter jets that are already in operation, and the 400 additional personnel that we pre-deployed before this conflict started. Since then, since the conflict, you're right, we are preparing HMS Dragon to go to the region, and we're also
for a war we're not involved in.
given that it's sat doing fuck all with holes in the side of it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to send a nuclear-capable colander to the region, and it's going to definitely float. It's seaworthy, honest. Can you give us a lift, America?
Already now deployed additional Typhoons, additional Wildcat
And are you
helicopters
sending the
on
aircraft
air
carrier
defences
to
as well.
HMS Prince of Wales? Are you sending the aircraft carrier to the region?
So I won't comment on further operational
Well, you've
issues.
just told us about some operational
But there's the decisions
details.
that have been
Pick
taken.
and choose. Are you
I'm
sending
telling
the
you about the
aircraft
decisions
carrier?
that have been taken that are in place. Obviously, you'll also may be aware that as part of the Munich security speech, the Prime Minister announced the...
Honestly, as a British Prime Minister, if they're going to send you on a security thing to Munich, don't go. The historic parallel is too much. Anyway, can we just choose a different German city, please? I can't sign a deal in fucking Munich. Behave yourself.
Carrier strike group.
Fucking twats in our time.
Would be heading to the High North. There are obviously a range of security issues we face. So,
hasn't the government actually put the UK in the most awkward position of all? We're neither taking part in this war in the wholehearted way that some of our closest allies would want us to, but you're also facilitating the war in a way that many people watching will think is dangerous and wrong.
But I think that reflects the complexity and the reality of the kinds of security.
My ass. No, it just represents how pathetic of a fucking geriatrics piss stream in the wind you all are as a party. Like, this is just exactly the same as you are on all policy issues. You do the fascism, but you cry while you're doing it. You say, no, we're not. Look, aren't we we're so great, we're so wonderful, and everyone hates you for it, because the right will never fucking vote for you, and the left, I hope, will never vote for you ever again either. So
it's trying to hedge your bets and not satisfying either side. It's almost like in an extreme situation, the middle ground doesn't really exist, which is why taking all of your cues from Blair, who literally said, let's just do the middle ground, which was fine in 1995, because the middle ground existed. It doesn't in 2026.
There is no middle. Yeah, there is no. Nobody is a centrist anymore. Like, there are no centrists.
You can't
left.
be.
It's not an electoral force in Britain anymore.
If you're a centrist,
who are they aiming for?
If you're a centrist, you're not watching, because you can't. Like, there's no what you want the status quo to remain. What the fuck does that mean? What you want? You're happy in the swamp of shit that we currently exist in. Really?
Yeah.
God almighty.
Issues we face, and I think most people across the country know these things aren't. There's not just a sort of simplistic world out there that we can just pick and choose from and think that all of
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah, the fuck it is. It's called having a fucking moral backbone.
Hang on. So there are no options here. We just have to react and do whatever America wants. So you're literally arguing against the thing you argued against a second ago. Okay, so you're just Tony Blair. Cool.
our decisions are easy.
Are we at
the
war?
reality is that it is complex, the situation that we are facing.
Laura coming in with a clever question there.
We don't provide the support.
Are we at war? Are we at war? Are we at war? Shut up, Laura, for God's sake.
Well, I have to say, given how dishonest this government is, a question as basic as that can actually be flummoxing to them, because their whole thing is we're not at war, even though we're demonstrably very much at war.
Let's see how the various parts of Yvette Cooper's face respond to that question.
Yeah, look, it's just honestly, that is enough. Journalism is so shite that literally just asking the question, "Are we at war?" like a 5-year-old might just get the job done.
You're right. I take it back. Well, Laura, crack on.
Belt award-winning.
The initial strikes that took place, but we are responding and taking action, including military action, to provide defensive support to partner countries.
Are we at war?
Because that's the right thing to do. Are we at war? We are providing
do you know what?
defensive-
She's a follow-up.
Yeah.
It's the rare fucking situation where we are witnessing someone asking the same question more than once.
It's a mini Paxman.
Look at this. Go. Well, unfortunately, that's what they all have in their fucking head, isn't it? They're like, if I ask the same question 20 times and not actually listen to the answer, but if I ask it 20 times and then not actually ask a proper follow-up, I'm being Paxman, which makes me brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you threaten to overrule him? Exactly. And
Paxman revealed later that he was only doing that to fill time. because they were queuing up the next segment, so he had like 30 seconds he had to fill, and that's like the gold standard of British journalism.
British news media's George Lucas moment, and it's actually just fucking Paxo filling time because he wants to make sure he finishes right, doesn't have to ask any other questions, then he can get his train home at time. Yeah, exactly.
It was either that or go, so, who are you wearing tonight?
Yeah.
You know, like doing a fucking red carpet bit, you know?
Support in a conflict, and that's, I think, the way to describe it. We
So
want
we're not
resolution.
at war, or we are at war?
We want to see resolution of this conflict as swiftly as possible, but we are, and our armed forces, our RAF, who are doing an excellent job, and I pay tribute to the work that they do.
Shut up.
They are flying defensive strikes, including...
Hang on.
Defensive
strike. What the fuck is a defensive
what's called,
strike?
Everyone, there's the perfect example of an oxymoron. A defensive strike.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah, a defensive strike. Yeah, just like that married bachelor I met. Yeah.
They have taken strike action against the drones and...
Do you deny that at the beginning you objected to America using British bases for these attacks?
So I think that you're trying to get into discussions of the National Security Council, which I am not going to comment
It's been
on.
widely
Let me
reported,
tell
though,
you,
that you
I will
objected.
tell
Do you deny that for the
I will
record
tell
or
you
not?
my view. I strongly support the Prime Minister's decisions and the decisions that he has taken, and have supported them throughout. That is my strong view. I think he has taken...
So even the good thing she did in trying to say maybe we shouldn't let them use our bases, she fucks it up by going, well, I'm not going to comment on that. I support the Prime Minister.
Honestly...
And this is why you lose. This is why you lose to a party that 6 months ago had 40,000 fucking members. Like, come on. There's a reason your party is dying a death.
Yeah, I was going to say, the moment that I've got my "Your Party's Dying" sunglasses for this moment, because it's like, yeah, fuck you lot. You're going down, motherfuckers. Bye-bye.
Exactly. Like, I will laugh over the smouldering corpse of the Labour Party, and they will have earned their place in the dustbin of history. Completely and utterly. Yeah. Like, both of the major parties, Conservative Party doesn't represent Conservatives, they're just a Thatcherite neoliberal party, and the Labour Party haven't represented Labour people since, what, fucking Smith in the 90s?
Even if that, like, the reality is, even from their roots, they were... Yeah, there's lots of... I mean, you were getting into deep discourse there. I vigorously supported Labour right up to the point where I didn't, which was voted Labour in every election I could until the 2024 general election. And that was... Well, no, sorry. And I abandoned them at... The last time I voted for them was in 2019, and then since then...
Yeah.
No...
Well,
So,
because
bye.
They're just the Tory party now.
They're just just so you're getting my eyes back, everyone. This is my "you're going down" sunglasses. I'll take them off again now. You'll get them back again if Yvette Cooper looks like she's going to crook.
The right decisions in the UK national interest, and that, I think, is what the British public would expect.
Foreign Secretary, thanks very much indeed for coming in on an important and very busy day, no doubt, for you. Thank you.
Absolutely pathetic.
Well, just before we came on air this morning, we spoke to Israel's President, Isaac Herzog.
So, you know, I'm almost tempted to say, fucking skip this cunt, because I actually don't want to. I don't feel like we should.
No, that's fair enough. But
I don't want to hear what he has to say.
I do want to point out
genocidal war criminal.
You know, he's originally from Northern Ireland, first and foremost, which is funny, because it turns out the biggest religious bigot from Northern Ireland wasn't Christian. Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, unless anyone really pushes back, I do not want to hear a word that this guy says.
That's fair enough, yeah. No,
yeah.
Let's go. Let's skip to the Iranian.
Skip to Iran, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Both sides, after Iran's president said sorry, we wanted to know what his words actually meant. Your president has apologized for lashing out across your neighbors in the wider Middle East, endangering millions of civilians. Will you stop your attacks on military bases in other parts of the Middle East outside Israel?
It depends on the activities of the American side and Israeli side. It depends on them. The aggression of the American side and the Israeli regime is continued. There is no doubt we will defend ourselves. And if they want to use from this military bases, although that we do not want to do that, There is no doubt. Certainly we will defend ourselves accordingly.
If British jets shoot down Iranians' missiles or drones, are they legitimate targets?
You know, British government mentioned that they do not involve with this aggression. And so it is very important for us. But if they want to using, attacking us, there's no doubt that Iran will going to have your own right for self-defense. But I do believe that the British government has very, very good experience from.
Oh, just to clarify, chat, Isaac Herzog's father was from Northern Ireland, technically, rather than him. But he's travelled there many times in his play, and honestly, Northern Ireland has got a real interesting multicultural approach to religious violence.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Expect fucking, I don't know, the new ISIS sect to come into being in fucking Derry or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, people in the chat are already saying it, but I was halfway through typing that extremely DUP coded. Yeah, for sure.
Very much so, yes, yeah.
Invasion.
I could see him wearing a sash and a bowler hat.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. It's not a stretch of the imagination, is it?
As well as they know the illegality of this aggression.
And yet the British government is allowing American jets to use British bases for attacks, and British military assets are being used to intercept Iranian attacks. In those circumstances, are British military assets legitimate targets?
We are trying to have a very...
Well, the answer is yes.
The answer is yes. It's funny here, isn't it? Because it's like, she's goading him into saying, yeah, we'll knock you out the fucking skies, you pricks.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm going to just... Again, it's like their whole diplomatic corps is trained in restraint because they have to, because they are surrounded by US puppet states that are psychotic.
Yeah.
Imagine being in a room with fucking MBS and having to engage that twat in conversation. Like, no wonder they're all like absolutely like holding back, because they know that the person on the other side of the room, whether it's Trump or whether it's Clinton or whether it's fucking Reagan, they're all fucking unhinged.
Yeah. Or even the ones that seem sane on the surface, like Obama, will drone strike everyone ever.
Yeah. Well, it's a very good point. Sorry, I should have put Obama on it. Obama's one of the most egregious, aggressive presences in the Middle East.
Having won the Peace Prize, then went on to become Drone King.
Yeah, Drone King.
Honestly, I'm beginning to think, after Kissinger and Obama, I don't think the Peace Prize is actually about peace.
Yeah, I think after they gave it, I don't think we should care about the Nobel Peace Prize anymore.
The Venezuelan one that won it most recently is amazing, because not only did she give it to Trump, as an honorary thing, and then they had to come out and say that's not how it works. You can't pass. It's not transferable. We gave it to you. You can refuse it, and some people have done in the past, but you can't accept it and then give it to someone. All you're doing is giving them a trophy. That doesn't mean anything. And then she literally spent the following week, having won the Peace Prize, calling for America to bomb her own country.
I know.
What the
You just can't make it up. You can't make it up.
It's madness. Could you not have chosen any? Like, if you're going to do a Peace Prize, how the fuck is Greta Thunberg not involved? What's that about? She's fucking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All power to Greta. I mean, good grief, what a genuine
Malala Yousafzai or whoever. Just fucking choose. There's some dope people around, and you choose fucking Henry Kissinger and Barack Obama. Suck a dick.
Functional and very delicate and careful.
Wait, pause it there.
You've been lashing.
So he said suck a dick, and he said functional and very delicate, and I thought it was a nice bit of poetic symmetry there.
It's good advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, man. Continue.
Right across the Middle East.
Okay, I'll say suck a dick, and if he says like aggressive and throaty, then we know he's definitely like he's.
He means business. Yeah, that's
he knows. Yeah.
To all sorts of countries, endangering civilians across a whole region.
We are defending ourselves. This is a very important. Who started this war? American side and Israeli regime.
But you say the root
But they are
causes
using of their bases, military bases from the Persian Gulf countries. Okay, that would be a very important, legitimate target for us.
Absolutely.
We do not want to go to attack anybody. No, we are very delicate. We are very.
Yeah, like literally, like when the 12-day war last year, they were attacked and attacked places that were attacking them. Literally, like doing actual self-defense.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that. And also, did Israel not learn its lesson about how much they were pissing their pants during those 12 days?
I know.
What did you think was going to happen that you did it a second time?
There's got to be some way to get the metric of the extent to which the entire world is cheering on imagery of bombing in Israel. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily innocent people getting bombed out. I'm not saying whether that is or is not Israel. I'm going to be very non-actionable here. But it is interesting, isn't it, the extent to which the internet generally comes alive when the one or two scant videos escape the internet blackout in Israel, and we see images of Tel Aviv or whatever it happens to be getting bombed with hypersonic Iranian weapons.
Yeah, and you see like not even particularly extreme people who are like, yeah, fuck it.
Everyone who's just watched the genocide unfold for years and years, like, these pricks can get some. Get some.
You fucked around, lads. Enjoy finding out. That's how it fucking works. Did you think they weren't going to fight back?
Yeah.
Very, you see, careful regarding for our activities, and as well as we do expect for the other people, including British government, to be very delicate, to be very careful for their own activities in the name of the stuff.
You say, Ambassador, that what America, what Israel, what some other members of the international community would say is the root cause here, is Iran's refusal for many, many years to abide by the rules that the international community.
Unlike Israel, who again have more fucking UN sanctions against them than anyone. Or no, sanctions, sorry, resolutions.
Yeah.
And they'd have a lot more if America didn't keep fucking blocking them, and Britain abstaining in the most pathetic way possible.
Has set them to cover up some of its nuclear ambition, and indeed to run a repressive government that oppresses many of your own people.
Unlike our friends in Saudi Arabia and Qatar and UAE and Oman and blah 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 blah.
And to threaten Israel using other satellite groups across the Middle East.
In international community, we have very important rules and standards in the name of international law.
And those which have been ignored by Iran over successive years.
No, not at all. Iran, as a member of the NPT, Israel is not.
Yeah.
Iran, as a member of the...
Yeah, literally, like the idea that we're going to take lessons from a country that the whistleblower is Mordecai Vanunu was convicted of releasing those documents which revealed Israel had that nuclear stockpile, which we all knew they fucking had, and they have nuclear bombs. He has served his term and been released, and they still deny it. That's how long we've known that they have nuclear weapons. They're like, no, don't look at us, look at Iran. Iran won't let IAEA inspectors into all their facilities. Ignore the fact that we don't let a single IAEA inspector into any of our facilities. Ignore that.
I'll take no lectures from Pedo Wakanda. Yeah, pretty much, Jim Speak. I gotta agree with that. Yeah. It's just, and it's just, again, Laura's not allowed to then channel that or send that back, take those questions and take it's because it's such pieced together clip show type rubbish. It's like she can't then take that and challenge it back, because Yvette Cooper's got to say her piece first, which means she can't return the
Non-proliferation treaty is a responsible state. They want to use the nuclear activities, nuclear energy, only for the peaceful means. And
you have ignored many international obligations. Just last year, the nuclear authority...
Give me one of them. Yeah. Please, give me one of them.
Last year...
Yeah, you may be able to see on the screen now, Gareth. I have a thing. It comes up so regularly in discussions that I now have a text thing specifically that says Israel has nuclear weapons.
It's important to remind everyone.
Exactly, because the hypocrisy is farcical.
Yep.
Here, the International Nuclear Authority said Iran had breached the rules. In 2019, it was revealed that you had stockpiled more uranium than you needed. Way back in 2002, it was revealed you had secret nuclear sites. And you have been enriching uranium at a rate well beyond what's needed for civilian purposes. You know that, Mr. Ambassador.
Let me answer to you.
You know that.
Yes, let me. All of the nuclear activities of Iran is under the monitoring of the IAEA. There is no any ambition to go to nuclear bomb.
Your country is under attack, but your people have also been under.
And I guarantee he mentioned the fact that Israel has nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
and they
cut
cut
that.
cut
They'll
that
have
out.
absolutely cut it. 100% they will have.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that there's like such a weird clip between moments there. Yeah.
Since we last spoke, your government has killed thousands of its own people in the streets who had the courage to stand up to protest against the suffering that they have been experiencing at the.
Again, I will just... I have to bring this up because I think it's worthwhile. Saudi Arabia, our friends and allies, literally last year executed a person who they had found guilty of witchcraft. And they executed them via public crucifixion. But apparently we're really big friends of human rights and the dignity of the people of
The layers of hypocrisy. The other thing that's interesting is that that's been picked up. Israel keep going on about the fact that they were able to work out where Khomeini was by the fact that they had access to all of the CCTV cameras at street level, and yet they've not made publicly available footage of the supposed tens of thousands of murdered protesters. Now, this is not me saying that there have not been mass atrocities done by the current authorities in Iran. No, but it's interesting that the wildly exaggerated, I would suspect, numbers, in order to exaggerate to justify what we're seeing happening right now, it's interesting that they seem to have that footage, but don't have able to watch Khomeini's car moving around, but not enough to. Footage of protesters being shot at the scales that have been claimed, which are impossible to achieve because those numbers have only just been achieved in Gaza, and we've seen what level of destruction you need to create that level of fatality. So,
interestingly, talking about the number of Iranians that were killed, there's a fantastic clip that people should look up of the Israeli government decided to make up a lie, and they took an Israeli TikToker and put her face up on the TV as a person who'd been killed in Iran as an Iranian protester. And there's a clip of the actual woman herself reacting to her own obituary on the Israeli news from Tel Aviv. And I'm just like, why did you look? Surely there were some people that were killed. Tell us a real story. Why did you make one up? Oh, God almighty.
It's breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking.
It's like pathological with them. It really is.
Hands of the regime. Thousands of people were killed. How on earth do you justify that, Ambassador?
The Iranian side has their own problems due to the economic sanctions against us. And the Iranian people, unfortunately, has their own problems, in this matter. But I do believe, yes, now our people are in a very painful and sensitive period of time, but they are supporting the government against the foreign invader, foreign aggressors.
To say,
you see, if you go to the inside of Iran, you can see one solidarity, one unity among the people.
Yeah, because what Israel have done,
we would love to.
What
be
Israel
able
have
to
done is, what Israel have done and the US have done is basically any sort of opposition within the state, people will have fairly rapidly hardened their position in favor of their regime because the regime is the one now defending them from the bombs falling from the sky.
Yeah,
so it's
this again. It happens all throughout history. There was I studied history, and there's some fantastic examples of people who were like diehard anti-communists, anti-Stalinists, who said if you turned up 20 years ago, I'd have joined you. I'd have joined you in fucking overthrowing the communists and blah, blah, blah. But you've come here and you've just destroyed and murdered loads of people. I hate the regime, but I hate you more.
Yep.
Literally, that's what you do. You turned enemies of the state into defenders with their bodies of the state. And the Iranian people are no different,
Yeah, they're regional rebels, like posting on like various news sources in the last week that they're like, we fucking hate the Iranian regime, but not anymore. Our AKs were in their direction. Now our AKs are facing outwards because of what we've seen happening. It's just like it doesn't take a rocket science. It doesn't take a fucking brain genius to work out that that's what you do when you bomb a country. Anyway, sorry. Let's hear what this guy said. We're half an hour through. I suspect later sections will go a bit quicker. Everyone, don't worry, because I don't know if we'll survive to the end.
Report independently from inside Iran to see what is really going on.
Why not?
But we have seen much of what has gone on. Just this morning, I looked at many of the images and watched some of the videos from what happened to protesters in your country in January. I looked at images and videos verified independently by our colleagues at BBC Verify that show body bags littered over the courtyard of a mortuary, the Karizak Forensic Medical Center in Iran. I saw images of young, old, teenagers, people killed by your government, beaten faces, bloodied bodies, gunshot wounds. How on earth do you justify that and sit there today saying,
okay,
wait a minute, have some complaints?
Let's just 160 plus young girls killed in a bombing of an elementary school. What are we trying? What is this? Like, who's murdered the most Iranians competition?
Yeah.
Like, how is what you're saying? I understand what she's trying to do, and it's not that it isn't. It is right to hold an Iranian official to account over that. But the way she's framing it, particularly by going to bodies, doesn't work as a rhetorical device here, because it's like all he needs to say is, oh, so that justifies killing 1,000 of our people, the majority of whom have been fucking children at this point. Yeah. Like, what are you saying here? So I'm sorry, she loses by doing the bodies thing, she's lost her ability to stand on because all he needs to respond with, we'll see what he says, all he needs to respond with is, yeah, but how is that a justification of murdering more Iranians? We now have body bags full of fucking children, young girls who were murdered at 160 plus in an elementary school that fucking Anthropic AI told the US to bomb. Like, anyway, let's see what he said. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, we're going to have to kill loads more Iranians to stop you killing Iranians?
Fucking
How about we stop killing Iranians?
Yeah.
Would be a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was crazy lefty loony.
Yeah, crazy lefty.
Student politics.
Yeah.
Your government killed thousands of their own people, and the world saw that.
Oh, hello there, my left eye raiders. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Kevin Logan. This is Gareth Dennis. We're awesome. Fact. Everyone go and follow my left eye.
Laura, I again, I recommend you to be very vigilant and delicate for
and our colleagues have verified those images independently, Mr. Ambassador.
Of Iran. Let me finish. And so I do not want to say that we do not have any problem. No. The problem there are in our country, but you see that how to address this kind of problems according to the Iranian laws and regulations, it's a very important. And the other than without any interference of the foreign countries against Iran.
This was not about foreign interference. This was about your own people taking to the streets to protest against their suffering. And if you had nothing to hide, why turn off the internet during the protests? If you had nothing to hide, why not allow...
Again, if Israel had nothing to hide, why are they blocking internet access?
Yeah.
Like, again,
yeah,
you can do this, you can do, like,
Israeli censorship, the scale of Israeli censorship is, I mean, before we talk about US censorship, but the scale of Israeli censorship is extremely aggressive censorship. You know, you had the BBC saying we're not allowed to film during the strikes. We're not allowed to talk about what the strikes have been. It's just like, yeah, hypocrisy again, but it's just table fucking stakes, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. And, like, I don't want it to be whataboutism, because if the Iranian government kills Iranians, that's bad. If Iran shuts down the internet, that's bad. Although, certainly in the second case, you can argue it's an exigency of war. That's what happens. During the Second World War, we literally shut down a free press. Like, it happens in war. Extreme situations, extreme reactions, it happens. Not ideal, but it's understandable. But the point being, we can't in any way hold a consistent moral line, and this is the same with the Ukraine Russia thing, that, like, yeah, you can sit there and say it's really bad that Russia invaded and killed loads of people, but Israel is literally doing that, and we're flying reconnaissance flights for them to better facilitate their genocide of the Palestinian people.
Yep.
So you can't, there's no consistency. Like, you can cry salt tears all you want for the fucking Iranian protesters, but if you're okay with Israel fucking slaughtering people in the hundreds of thousands, to the point where there are parts of Palestine now where there are no houses, there are no fucking buildings left. It functionally doesn't exist anymore.
This is what we talk like. Look, the US has been doing this for decades. Israel has been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
We're at a point now where the scale of destruction, and critically the scale of public visibility of the destruction in Gaza, changes everything.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing is off limits now.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the global community let that happen without raising a fucking finger means that it absolutely empowered Israel and the US to just do whatever the fuck they want.
Actually, that was I had this before with the Iraq War protests back in the day, and this is why I think the protests are genuinely important. Not necessarily for stopping the thing that happens right now, but it's showing pushback and stopping what might happen in the future. Because if those big protests against Iraq had not happened, I think they'd have been able to do this war 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to. Israel definitely wanted to. America were more than happy to. But they realised that it was such a horrific situation, and the world opinion was so against it that they couldn't do it. Whereas now, like you say, the fact that the media narrative has been so captured by Zionists now, it's embarrassing. That you other than some
shout out to Rafi Berg. How you doing, Rafi?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The pushback hasn't been enough, and so they've been able to get away with it, and that's just emboldened them to do whatever they like. But I think, actually, as you mentioned earlier, they've overplayed their hand, and they might end up destroying themselves.
Yeah, I really do not think this is a war they're going to win, and I think they're going to lose it quicker than you might think.
Yeah, exactly.
Because freely and fairly.
Because the internet now using as a military devices against the Iranian security.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
should be very delicate regarding for the Iranian circumstance.
Like when you've literally got people like Elon Musk using his fucking Starlink shit, and picking and choosing which bits of war he'll happily support and not support, which goes against any concept of national sovereignty anymore, because ultimately he gets to decide who wins a fucking war as an individual, and secondly means that of course these things are not like separate from the war.
Yeah,
they are intrinsic to the war. When cyber attacks counter against each other from North Korea or Iran or Britain or America, like this obviously is the same thing, and so you're going to end up with a situation where this is a direct countermeasure to the fact they are being attacked. Not that they necessarily didn't have censorship before, but it's obviously going to be much worse now because they're in the middle of being bombed by us. Well, I say us, the American government,
it's
the
not
British
long.
government.
Just you. Well, we are bombing because remember we're doing our defensive strikes.
Defensive strikes, yes.
And condition in Iran.
Our colleagues at BBC Verify have checked all of that incredibly carefully, and that is why we wanted to put that to you today, Mr.
You know, the incredibly unbiased BBC.
Well, it's like I was saying in the chat, like Verify might well be absolutely spot on with what they're doing, but it's like, firstly, it's like truth, capital T, capital F, truth and facts are not. They are not a singular prophecy. Like it's like, firstly, they lack context. Also, like extremely dependent on who is wielding them, and also prone to the sort of statistical problems that you'd expect of. Yeah, but what isn't being verified? What are the images that are not being verified? Who's deciding what to verify and what not to verify? What images are reaching who? Again, we're not appeasing or being apologists for what the Iranian regime was doing until it was attacked. Like, it is an awful regime that has long overstayed its welcome, is my view. I'm not saying that's Kev's view. But the point is, it's for the Iranians to do with that what they wish to do.
Indeed, yeah.
And if they hadn't been mucked around, given the scale of the escalating tensions within, again, you can't. It doesn't exist in isolation because you got Israel mucking around in the country. You got the fact that the whole situation is because of our activities, but. Had Iran been left to its own devices with the escalating internal tensions, maybe they were getting to the point where they would have been concessions and liberalizing moments in the way the government was being run. Yeah. Like, given the pressure, so why did we go in and bomb? Why didn't we let that continue to happen such that it might have reached a regime change or perhaps concessions as the country might have moved towards more and greater stability? So no, I don't think it's really valid for us to give anyone lectures on stability when and indeed on finding our own paths to democracy when that appeared to potentially be happening, and then we decided to bomb the shit out of them, stopping that from happening. So yeah, interesting.
And indeed, Iran, as previously mentioned, had a democratic government that was a little bit too pinko, and so they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome,
cool.
I'm glad we don't live in the ripples historically of that particular decision.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bin the Shah, and then in come the student revolution, not even that, ostensibly communist, but not actually, like a left-leaning liberal democratic takeover, and that was immediately stymied by the US and British to make sure that, in fact, the current lot got in because they were seen to be more useful and friendly to us. Yeah, BP, whoops.
Yeah.
Mr. Ambassador, how does this end? How can your people find peace?
Iran is one of the peace lover country, and I hope that you recommend this kind of activities to somebody made this kind of aggression against these people. President Trump is, and as well as Netanyahu, has a very dirty dossier regarding for the making aggression and doing these criminal activities against the sovereign states and peoples.
Isn't it a cruel joke to tell people that Iran is a peace-loving country?
No,
what?
No, literally not. Like again,
what? Like maybe they do get involved in some shit around the place, but can I just point out the hundreds of thousands of people displaced and killed by the genocide that's still going on in Gaza right now?
And literally, like as we previously mentioned, they murdered Soleimani, who was in Iraq at the behest of the Iraqi government as a military advisor. Iraq technically being an ally of the United States, so they bombed an ally to kill a person who was there at the behest of that ally, which was a direct act of war or murder of a foreign citizen, an Iranian citizen, and Iran didn't take countermeasures. Yeah, I'd say that was pretty chill, actually, because if they'd have bombed you to fuck, they'd have been within their rights. You literally started that shit.
I myself for the countermeasures that Iran took on when a US Navy vessel shot one of their airliners out of the fucking sky.
Yeah.
And again, Iran absolutely sat on the "we're going to still keep this chill" button. Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay.
Like it's not.
Okay, Laura. Sure.
They're not pacifist, but like, why would they be? Why would anyone be? That's not how international
they do
works.
all sorts of funding of they're sending cash to militants all around the place. Like, fine, but
we were literally, but everyone was like, "Oh, we need to send war." Look, fucking John McCain. One of the last things he ever did was like, "Oh, we need to give guns to these cool and totally not Islamist freaks in Saudi Arabia, in Syria." Yay, let's give arms to them. Oh, turns out they might be fucking nutters who cut people's heads off. Oh, whoops! Who could have seen that coming?
It hasn't the Middle East been great since we've been fucking around in there since the fucking mid 1800s or whatever the fuck the British
look, all I'll say is if they didn't want to get fucked up with, why did they live in land that had lots of oil underneath it?
yeah, it's their stupid selfish fault.
Exactly, yeah. Look, it wasn't until we discovered that oil was very useful. all of a sudden they needed to be fucked with. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you look at the behaviour of what's happened in the last few years, fueling support to Hamas and Hezbollah, accused by MI5 of carrying out plots in this country, endangering people here, saying that you want to destroy Israel.
Although I do love the fact, and it's such great shithousery from the Iranian government. Do you know the street that the British embassy in Tehran is on? They renamed to Bobby Sands Street.
Yeah, too fucking right.
Like that's come on.
It's important for us. Yeah, that's big gold stuff right there.
That's top tier fucking banter. You gotta love that.
That's almost to me with the shade situation back on again.
Go on, lad. Yeah.
Say you're a peace-loving country?
Yes, definitely we are the peace-loving country. And regarding for the MI5 report, we have several times requested to give us the evidences. Nothing done. Regarding for the Hamas and Hezbollah, they are doing it for their own right to self-determination. According to that's a very principled right.
Ambassador, thank you very much indeed for your time and speaking to us today.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that wasn't chopped up to cut out his good points.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's normal. Yeah.
And the thing is, even if it isn't, because we're so seasoned to expect this stuff, like it just shows how, like, even if someone really solid and good elevated within this kind of the media ecosystem, ignoring the Rafi Berg editorial bullshit, like, we're just not. Journalism is an extremely important part of democracy.
Yeah.
So it's not that these people are, it's an unfortunate side effect. They are responsible for eroding democracy themselves. People like Laura, but her editors and others, are responsible for the mistrust in the functioning of democracy. They're responsible for democracy itself being heavily eroded in the UK and on a wider footing. It's the cool glasses are coming off again. It is so aggravating to watch this kind of journalism and think of all the grassroots independent journalism that goes on that's really extremely valuable and good. There is a hell of a lot of good journalism going on still in the UK that we should be very proud of. But the fact that we have eroded to the majority of the British public and to the majority of the public what journalism means to people is desperately exasperating, because it's extremely important. It is extremely important that we have interrogation both internally facing and externally facing. It is important that we interrogate diplomats from other countries. It is important that we do that because in theory we have a chance to do that where others might not. But it's eroded so much by I'm not going to repeat again, everything we've talked about before. It's exasperating. I mourn its passing, but I don't see, my point being, I don't see a world where it comes back anytime quickly, because even if you get someone, the bright spark coming through, believes in this stuff, it gets flattened out and crushed so much, and no one believes it anyway, as exactly as you said, Kev. Like, we cannot trust that this has not just been shifted severely in favor of Laura, given it's her bloody named television show after fucking her, which is already fucked up.
Yeah. Apparently there's also, this seems a little tasteless in all honesty, but they were considering he died on hunger strike, but there is a Bobby Sands burger place.
I was going to say, that's an interesting choice given the circumstances of Bobby Sands' death. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But ultimately, it's a man who died in 1982 that still has 2 places in Tehran named after him. Okay, cool. That's, you know what? He's had an impact on this earth. Yeah. Glorious.
Thank you, Laura.
Well, as ever, we want to know what you think of what you hear this morning. You can email us, koonsberg@bbc.co.uk, or if you're social media.
Oh, yeah, and Bobby Sands Street was originally called Winston Churchill Boulevard.
Yeah, You have to remember the level. Fucking going back on. There we go.
There you go, Winnie. Cop it, you cunt.
You can use the hashtag BBC Laura K, and the WhatsApp number is there for you too. Penny, President Trump said in his late night tweet about Keir Starmer that this war is already won. But when you
We've made so little progress, Kev. Good grief.
Yeah, sure. Actually, you know what? We can call it there if you want, because I feel like, do we want to listen to these?
What else is, I know we're not listening to, we've not heard anything Zara has to say, and it's not that we're not interested in what Zara says, but Zara's going to kind of say what we're going to say. She'll get shouted down by Laura. I don't know how instructive that process will necessarily be for everyone.
Well, but we'll listen to one.
Let's have a listen to
the next bit of Zara Sultana, and then maybe wrap it up at that point.
Just this week, there were arrests for people accused of spying for Iran here in the UK.
Sorry, everyone.
Okay, but there were also arrests from people that were spying for China in Britain this week. So
everything goes. People are up to shit. People are doing shit. You know?
Like foreign governments will offer you a lot of money if you're in a position to be able to spy for them.
Also, China doesn't necessarily do this stuff with any particular purpose. They just find marks and just shove them cash because they've got cash coming out their ears because it's funny, because they can.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but
if I was in China, I'd be like, "Oh, I found a fucking guys, you'll never believe this. Yeah, look at this fucking rube. Yeah, he's a Labour guy. Yeah, of course he is. Yeah. No, I bribed him with a Toblerone and a Gideon Bible. Yeah, he's ours. Yeah, he will literally do anything for us. He could not. It's Should we get him to do? Yeah. Yeah, okay, we'll get him to take his trousers down and run through Trafalgar Square. Yeah, let's do it. Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Honestly, they're just going to be doing shit because they fucking can. This is China's century.
Well, exactly. When you're the becoming the world hegemon, you can do it for memes.
Yes.
Fuck it.
I would be. If I was like mid-level sort of security guy, like mid-level sort of spy within the various sort of state spying apparatus in China, I'm going to be just fucking, of course I'm going to be messing with MPs' spouses in Britain.
Yeah.
What? That sounds fucking brilliant fun.
Yeah, because I imagine the oversight on those people isn't great, so they can basically do whatever the fuck they like.
No one in the Chinese Communist Party gives a fuck about what you're doing at that level. So they're just like, oh yeah, that level, just fucking arse around. It's fine. Just go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna bribe a member of the House of Lords to get his cock out. Fuck it. Why not?
Exactly.
I've got a budget for days. Who cares? I've got to spend it, otherwise I've got to give it back.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I've got I've got to. Right. Yeah. What's the 5-year plan? So I needed to get. Okay. Yeah. All right. I need. Yeah, I need 6. Yeah. 6, 7 more Labour, mid-ranking Labour MPs, please. Yeah. Just go. Just get me a pack of multi-pack of Toblerones. We're sorted.
Well, 70% of the British public opposed joining this illegal war, and that demonstration that you referenced in London had up to 50,000 people marching, saying that we remember Iraq.
By the way, have you been following at all the Your Party shenanigans? It's very People's Front of Judea.
Oh, it's bad, folks.
It's very.
There are lots of things to unpick out of it. The first one I get is, and I say this in kind of a way that you say this about your kind of great uncle who you love, which is, it doesn't reflect well on Corbyn and the Corbyn crew that, given how fucking useless the current Labour lot are, that Corbyn had rings run around him, and then you look at your party and you kind of realise why.
Yeah.
It's exasperating because I'm a Green member and I strongly support the Greens. I think everyone should vote Green, but I did want your party to do well because it felt like a valuable thing to have some kind of duality, some kind of plurality on the left. And I have to say that your party thing has just been shit show. From where I've sat, it has looked like a shit show from top to bottom. To be honest, it just looks like Labour factionalism being kind of distilled down into a new left-wing party. It just feels like it's carried all that with it.
It's very old school leftism. Like they're going on about, this person was on this slate and that slate, and you're like, why are you talking about fucking slates in 2026? It's not a picket line in 1972, lads.
And you're right. Yeah, Jim Speak. They shouldn't. I was going to say the thing that you're right. The thing that given what I'm wearing, the thing that I immediately abandoned your party with was as soon as they were like fucking Adnan Hussein was being put forward as like party chair or whatever.
Not just that,
coming out with outright transphobia. Well, it's like, no, get fucked, mate. Get fucked.
I lost a lot of respect for Jeremy Corbyn. Like you said, I mean,
give him a cuddle that day.
Exactly. Yeah, he's clearly like not the greatest organizer of a political party, which you can sort of forgive someone for. That's fine, whatever. He gave him a hug.
He doesn't have the sauce. He doesn't have the instincts. He doesn't have the fangs, and he doesn't have the sauce. I have a lot of time for Corbyn. He's had a long and really impactful career. But it's just not. It's not his game anymore. And in a way, I was kind of like hoping that your party would kind of take over from where Galloway's party, the Workers' Party. So you'd kind of lose. Galloway would lose ground as a fucking transphobe, and you'd see that move to your party. But at this point, for me, I see the role of your party as being where the fucking left-wing cranks can be put.
Exactly.
Get on with stuff.
Exactly. Which like people have said, Corbyn should join the Green Party.
No. Keep him the fuck away. What I want is your party to do what he did for Gorton and Denton, which is say vote Green. That's what I want Corbyn to say. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I don't mind them standing in areas where the Greens can't fucking win. By all means, put candidates up. I don't give a shit. But ultimately, they're just. I'm sorry. There's too much damaged goods with both Corbyn and the Your Party crowd. So you stay over there and do your weird factional.
Exactly. I'm sorry, and to anyone trying to make it work, I
feel genuinely sorry for the average person who 600,000 people signed up for the thing, and then 80,000 people or whatever joined. And okay, fine.
Well, you just watch the numbers go down and the interest go down, and they fucking fumbled the bag. But you look at how they're polling now, and it's just like they're a non-entity. It's just they've just how to completely fuck it, and we've seen it right there. And the frustrating thing is, I was kind of massively in Team Zara, and kind of to an extent, still, like her husband is not fucking clean is not by no means clean as a whistle either, and fucking it loves to get involved in the fucking factionalism. It's exasperating. So a worthy conversation topic, and it's very frustrating.
Actually, it's interesting because that's paralleled in the fact that Corbyn's missus also loves to get involved in this shit.
I know. Yeah, it's just all.
The two power couples are not cool. Actually,
it's not great. Yeah. Oh my God.
Remember the lies, we remember the manufactured consent, we remember the death, the devastation and the instability that...
Well, post the Epstein thing, I think we have to stop saying manufacturing consent now.
Yeah.
We need a clean leftist to come out and say, like, come up with a new phrase for it, please.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it that no more.
I do think Zara's still cool, Jim Speak. Yeah, I do still have a lot of time for Zara. You know, she's a young woman. She's a young Muslim woman in British politics, and she's outspoken.
Yeah.
Support of trans rights. She's like, I do think she's a good and certainly does a lot of good stuff. So yeah.
I do like her, and I think her politics are good. She does annoy me a little bit with some of the Puritanism stuff. Like, she'll go on about, the Green Party aren't proper socialists.
Yeah, that stuff.
I'm like,
and that's
I'm
where
sorry.
it breaks down again. It's like the Labour factionalism stuff. It's like,
I'm sorry. Like, you stood on the platform of Keir Starmer to get elected.
Yep.
Don't fucking lecture me on being a proper socialist. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to hold that against you in the sense that you left the party and you're like your own thing and you're pretty cool. But like, none of us are that fucking perfect and clean. So
yeah. And Zarf Quag Swag, you're absolutely right. Her close allegiance with the SWP is something to be extremely suspicious of. It's an organisation that I would recommend people read more into. And they're associated with very frustratingly involved with quite a lot of reasonably successful organising groups out there. It's
The SWP are
Stand Up to Racism as an SWP associated organisation, for example, that requires deep suspicion. It's very frustrating because they're absolutely infiltrated the activist left, and doubly frustratingly, sorry Kev, I'm going off on one here. Doubly frustrating that they do organise in such a way that they find themselves being a front against fascists on the street. One of the few channels that actually activate the left to get out there and protect people from fascists activating on the street. So there is quite complex and complicated, but fucking SWP is,
the SWP are a cancerous tumour on the British left.
Yes,
they just
I would go with that. Yeah.
Like, again, I think there are probably people involved on the ground that are reasonable people, but the organisation is just toxic and shit. Yeah.
Sorry, you're right. Like, let Kev get a word in. Sorry, Brody G99, you're right.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I've got a guest on. I can talk when I'm on my own. I can talk for hours and hours and hours. I've got a guest on, so stop being rude, you little fucker, and give me money. Give me all of your money.
Chuck the bits in, do all the Twitch stuff. I'm not really a Twitch person. I don't know the stuff you do. I know that bits happen, little robots appear on screen and stuff, and you can mash things. Do all of that stuff.
I imagine
give all your money.
I imagine that my emote wall thing where the things go across. I'm sure that has been very triggering to your ADHD.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep on top of it.
Like just random shiny things everywhere.
Dopamine. Thank you. Yep.
Oh shit. Oh, well, I've skipped back now. Fuck it. We'll just end there on a picture of our ship that isn't
Yeah, you know what? That's a beautiful place to end, isn't it? We talk about the SWP and then we can look at a giant sinking ship. Oh, dear.
Still my favourite Rishi Sunak. Well, either that or leaving the D-Day commemorations. That was funny. But, like, literally announcing, I'm going to do an election. And then he went to the fucking Titanic docks. Oh, what are you doing, you cunt? Like, the sinking ship line writes itself.
It's just... The thing is, he had a team who hated him. They sent him out to do his brief in the rain. They did he had a team that hated him.
And they were like, they did roulette, and they're like, what's the worst thing? Let's get him to go to the Titanic thing. I bet we can get him to go there because he's fucking oblivious. He wouldn't even realise. Can we get him to stand in a lemming suit on a cliff edge? Could we actually get him to do that?
Look, everyone, I'm in my sunglasses. You can't see me right now, but I'm back in my sunglasses again for the end of stream. That was Kev. That was tremendous fun. Everyone in the chat, thanks for continuing along.
Everyone go and follow Gareth Dennis on all of the various platforms and buy his book and be nice to him.
Thank you. Yeah, this YouTube subscriptions is what I'm mostly gagging for at the moment. That's my main rubric of desire. So if you want to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, that'd be marvelous. Thanks to you, all you lovelies out there. And look, we're going to do this again for sure. I've had so much fun.
Yeah. Although I will now stop pestering you for a bit at least. Yeah.
Look, yesterday was Saturdays are often tricky with the 3-year-old because they get knackered from the week and then they're grumbly all day. And yesterday was a particularly tricky one. So yeah, it was. I thought it might work, and then by the end of the day, I was like, oh no, this requires parental solidarity.
No, fair enough. IRL always comes first. So yeah. Okay. Let me see who I can raid into on the various platforms.
Let's do it. Yeah. Who? Last time we raided in, it was a bunch of like like Magna Carta people, but in the US, what are they called? The sovereign citizen people.
Yes,
that was correct. That was really
that was well, shirt appropriate. That was a trans creator from America who does like conspiracy theory people and stuff.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Talking of which, look, you can't see it because I'm not on the thing, but I'll audio describe. Gareth is standing up. He's wearing a black jersey. He's wearing shades, looking like a goon. The man has a mustache for some reason, even though it's fucking 2026, and he's got a pro-trans railways themed jersey on.
Yes.
And it's sexy as hell, which you can get from a merch location that has already been posted in the chat by Wayward Historian, I believe.
Who is honestly put so much more work into this show than I do.
Thank you, Wayward Historian. You've been tabbed this whole time.
Yes, okay. I'm sending you over to Some Random Geek on YouTube, and who is going? We'll go over to Liv Agar.
Oh, nice! Let's go and see Liv.
On the Twitch machines. And I will see you all tomorrow with Christy for a happy hour show, which is like the fucking dross, but it's fun. It's not very political nowadays because, like, who wants to talk about politics? Just have some fun. Okay, everyone. Thank you all for listening and watching. Thank you, Gareth, for joining.
Shamai, everybody. See you later on.
Yakida. Bye.
Bye.